Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, you check your phone, your bank app still opens, your balance is still there. Everything looks normal until you try to buy something. Your card gets declined. You try again, declined. You open the news, breaking news everywhere. Global announcement, emergency broadcast, financial system failure, and then you hear the words that change everything. Money is no longer worth anything, not tomorrow, not soon, today. Welcome to the day after. It doesn't start with chaos. It starts with disbelief. People laugh, people joke, people say it's fake. How can money just become worthless? But within minutes, reality hits. Banks freeze transactions. Stock markets shut down instantly. ATMs stop working. Cash, cards, savings, investments, all suddenly meaningless. The numbers you spent your entire life chasing. Now just numbers on a screen. In the first hour, confusion spreads faster than panic. People rush to stores, not to buy luxury items, but essentials. Food, water, medicine. But there's a problem. Stores don't know what to charge. Prices no longer make sense. If money is worthless, what is bread worth? What is fuel worth? What is a human life worth? Shops close their doors, not because they're empty, but because the system they relied on no longer exists. By midday, panic replaces disbelief. People realize something terrifying. Money wasn't just a tool, it was the agreement holding society together. Without it, everything becomes uncertain. Employers don't know how to pay workers. Workers don't know why they should show up. Rent means nothing. Loans mean nothing. Debts vanish. But so do savings. And for many people that's worse. Years of work erased in a single announcement. By the afternoon, cities change. Gas stations are surrounded by crowds. Fuel becomes one of the most valuable resources overnight. Not because of price, but because of usefulness. Hospitals go into emergency mode. Doctors still work, not for money, but because lives are still lives. Supply chains begin to break. Truck drivers ask a simple question. If money means nothing, why should I drive? And there is no answer. Now think about something personal. Your job. Why do you work? For survival, for stability, for the future. But if money can't buy the future anymore, what's the point? Millions of people don't show up to work the next day. Not out of laziness, but because the rules have disappeared. The second day is when fear becomes real. Governments speak on television. They promise solutions. They promise new systems. They promise order. But trust is fragile, and once money collapses, trust collapses with it. People turn to what they understand. Trade, barter, skills become currency. A mechanic is suddenly rich. A farmer becomes powerful. A doctor becomes priceless. But someone with only digital wealth, left with nothing. Communities begin to change. Neighbors talk for the first time in years. Not about weather, but about survival. Who has food? Who has tools? Who has knowledge? Local leaders appear. Not elected, but trusted. Strong communities stabilize. Weak ones fracture. But there is a darker side. Crime rises, not for money, but for resources. Food theft, fuel theft, medicine theft. Police still exist, but even they must ask, who pays us now? Law doesn't disappear, but it becomes harder to enforce. A week later, the world looks unrecognizable. Luxury is meaningless. Gold is heavy and useless if no one accepts it. Digital assets are gone. Social status resets. The influencer has nothing. The farmer has everything. The system rewards usefulness, not popularity, not numbers, not appearances. And yet, humanity adapts. Markets reappear, not with prices, but with exchange. Bread for labor, fuel for protection, knowledge for food. Life becomes harder but also simpler. No chasing wealth, no endless consumption, just survival, just value. So here's the question. Was money ever real, or was it just a story we all agreed to believe? Because the moment that belief disappeared, so did its power. Now imagine one final twist. Months later, a new currency is introduced, backed by governments, by technology, by promises. Would people trust it again, would you? Or would you remember how quickly everything collapsed? So tonight, think about this. If money vanished tomorrow, what would you still have? Your skills, your community, your humanity. Because when money becomes worthless, those are the only things that remain. This was the day after. See you in the next story.